What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Juggernaut of Multi-Platinum Production Team.
Arkatech Beatz.
Listen, man. Every night we get on, we do the music production live stream, beat tutorial live stream. Tonight we getting on late. Yeah, we normally get on at about between 9 and 10 o'clock, but we late tonight. Had to meet some deadlines, working on some stuff, trying to meet these projects, trying to get these things in, you know what I mean? So we just doing a lot of work tonight, man. So it's gonna be one of them live streams where it's like, man, we just trying to make it do what it do. Hold on 1 minute. My phone going crazy. What's going on with this phone, man? You know what I mean? We just trying to work it out. Just trying to figure this thing out. Let's go. Let's make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we worked on all the Big Pun's projects prior to him passing away. You know what I'm saying? We had the honor and privilege of, you know, having our first placement. You know what I mean? Like our first placement, our first record that we ever got placed on a major label was with Big Pun, and then it wound up going platinum. And the record that we did was Capital Punishment, right? So we did the title track for the debut album that was nominated for a Grammy and sold 3 million, and then the rest is history, man. He became the first Latino rapper to go platinum, multi-platinum. And it's just a great honor and a privilege, man, to still be here, you know, doing what we do. Still be here, still working with a whole bunch of cats. It's crazy, you know what I mean? So rest in peace to Big Pun. Rest in peace to Prodigy and Mobb Deep. You know, that's another one of the folks that we work with, you know. Rest in peace to Shorty Low. You know, so, you know, there's a bunch of artists that we work with that have passed away, but, you know, we're going to carry their legacy on, you know what I mean? But every night we get on the live stream, I typically typically have a sample. I ain't even going to hold y'all. I typically have a sample that I work with, and then I build a beat live. Like, I typically do it that way. Tonight, like I said, I've been working. You know what I'm saying? I've been working and trying to get some stuff in. So I have any tips for placements? Post your material. In today's age, you got to post your material. You know, snippets of your material. You got to post yourself cooking up, post yourself working. And you got to be active in socials. You got to be definitely active in socials. Follow the people you want to follow. Getting their contact information out of their bios. Trying to find their managers. You got to use Google and stuff like that. You know, you got to also be active in their socials, and making sure that you can build a relationship that way through the socials. And once you kind of if your music is good enough, you'll be able to get through the door. Says, can I show how I time stretch? Yeah, I think I could do that. Hold on 1 second. Shout out Born Ready. Everything is the same at Arkatech Beatz. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Arkatech Beatz, Twitter, everything. So, here, what's going on? Something I was working on earlier. I'm gonna let y'all hear it.
Arkatech Beatz.
Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Like I said, now we cooked this up earlier, maybe about an hour ago. I can't even front. And I should have just did it live, but it was like I was in the moment. So y'all know how that's going down. What's up? We make custom rugs. Hit me in the DM, bro. What kind of custom rugs we talking about? Like, graffiti joints? Let's go. Listen, man, we just, like I said, we call this one called Sweet Revenge. Because it kind of got like a grimy feel, and it kind of feels like it's, kind of like to get back. You know what I mean? And we was working on another joint. I'm going to play that for you, too. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. It's man. I'm a little low energy. I've been on this thing all day trying to get these joints together. Shout out to everybody in the live, yo. MG3 Beats, man. Appreciate the gifts, man. Let's go. Look out for that.
Arkatech Beatz.
Shout out Crafty Steam. Little grimy feels tonight, right? T. Lamont, what up? More like soprano vibes. I hope you're ready. Black soprano vibes. Let's go. I hope you're ready. What's coming next is going to be unbelievable. Shout out Rob Mully in the building. Let's go. This is one of those times where I want to rap. It's a little bit.
Arkatech Beatz.
to decide if I want to use that tonight. And yo, for people who be in the lives, man, I be having some samples to joint. Man, you haven't been in the mood to cook, man. Come on, bro. You've been rocking with me every single night, man. You got to jump on something. Pause. You got to do something. You got to get one of these joints. What do you do to help the beat block? You keep working. I ain't gonna hold you. You keep working. That's the only way to beat the beat block is to keep working. You got to work through the block. You got to work through it, even if it's trash. You just work through it. Just keep doing it. It's like it doesn't matter. It's just you just got to get used to the taking the time to do it. So it doesn't really matter how it sounds. You know what I'm saying? Because everything will not be lightning and thunder. You know how it is. Like we be in the lives, and joints be going left, joints be going right. Like you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some joints will just feel better than others. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of just trying to get things going. But you just gotta keep a daily cadence. And that's something that I wish I would have done when I was much younger. It's just keeping the daily cadence no matter what. No matter how I was feeling, just push through how you're feeling. It goes for everything. If you're gonna work out, if you're gonna do your diet, whatever you're gonna do, you gotta just push through everything. And I'm about to get back on that diet thing too. Get back on that. Get back on my gym and my boxing. Get back on that. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get back dangerous out here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get back dangerous. I'm dangerous. I gotta get back more dangerous. Yeah. I gotta make this weight go back to its delicious brolickness. You know what I mean? Calvin, what's good, man?
Arkatech Beatz.
We're here. I think the joint that I did, it's called Ashka, what up, bro? This joint, this Sweet Revenge joint, man. It's like I listen to it again. I wonder if I should speed it up because I like it, but I think it's like kind of what you call it. Let me show you. You're doing the right thing.
Arkatech Beatz.
So what we tried to do is some 808s in there, but real subtle. To kind of ride under the bass line. So Hero, right? I'm gonna tell you a joke. You know that if you're producing for a certain group of guys, you gotta be within a certain BPMs, right? Because personally, I would like it faster. That's just me personally. You know what I mean? But there's a certain group of folks that just like things a certain tempo. You know what I mean? You just got to make it do what it do. And last night too, right? The joke was we had worked on that joint. We did 2 joints I think last night, and we wind up doing that Indian joint, right? Last night. So I had to go into the rabbit hole with it last night. I had to take it, and I had to try something. I had to, do something that might have been, unorthodox. So for those who were here, we did a joint called Sudan Nights. Right. So we started with that, right? And then, something kind of that's different in a good way, right? Like like so then I started playing with it last night, and don't y'all don't kill me for this one though, but it went. Right? So now that changed the entire dynamic of the record, right? Right? It changed the entire dynamic of the record, right? So then I had to make that call. Yeah, I might have been up to about like 3 o'clock in the morning on this one, cause I was like, damn. Cause don't get me wrong, I like it where it was. Like, I like it where it was, and I was just like, I wasn't satisfied with it. It was just it felt too fast. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, man. So like now I'm listening to it, and I'm like, and this is what it is, man. And I think we get lost in it. It's just keep tweaking it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep tweaking it. Like, if it doesn't make you feel like you want to jump out the room, it's like, okay, let's keep tweaking it. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, there's a limit to it where you say, okay, let's move on to something else. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, we're just trying to make it do what it do. Hold on one second. Let me see who's in this YouTube chat over here. They're going crazy. Peace, Mac Mark. T Lamar AWOL, what up, man? Peace y'all on YouTube, man. We making it do what it do. It said we did a song with Nas. Yes, I did a song with Nas and Prodigy. Called Self-Conscious. And then we also have another record with Nas called Kids in the PJs featuring the Bravehearts. Then we got another record with Nas called My Worst Enemy. You can check that out on YouTube. That's kind of like on an international release for Nas. And then what else? Then we got another one that we did with Nas and Raekwon on release, but it's out. It's called Black Millionaire God Truth. You can check that out on our YouTubes. You know, check some of those out. You know what I mean? But those other records are on like Nas's QB Finest. That came out with the album that had like Uchi Wally on it. So let's dissect it again, right? And I'm thinking, and that's at tempo 82. If I had gone down to maybe about 79, it might have been better. So then when we went to the other one, we had to add, we brought it all the way from the 80 down to 66. Right? So we kept everything. We just brought it all the way down, right? And then we took the vocal out of her. So we isolated that. And then triggered it again. Right? So once we did all that isolation, like when we slow it down, it's doing what it gotta do, right? So we had to take her her vocal out of it. So once we took her vocal out of it, so now all we got is a string. And then we took the other part, which was the not that one. Right? It's really crazy. You know what I mean? Then we added a bass line 808. Took the 808 that we had before, and we made it go with the keys. So then when I had to make that call to Cody, it's crazy right now. It's really something else. No, it's We're gonna have some really, really, really good times, folks. Listen, once we get this Patreon going, man, I want to get into this Patreon so that I don't have to worry about these restrictions on being on YouTube and I can't really talk how I want to talk. I can't really go into some of the other, like the tracks that we really did, like some of the classic joints. I can't go through those for copyright problem and all that type of trash. Yo, I had to, bro. I had to really try to see where it could go. You know what I'm saying? And then once I started to kind of play with that, and then trying to play with the vocalist and trying to see what I can get out of it, and then trying to hum in melodies and trying to see what the output was going to be, it gave me an output that was like slightly different. And then I said, And that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to give me a little bit of insight and say, okay, well, like, this is something different. So I'm like, man, I'm like, yo, I had to really try to bring it down and say, okay, let me see if I can get it from 80 something and bring it down. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something different. You know what I mean? Sean, man, listen, I appreciate you. Listen, it's like this, man. I have been using controller mode, but not much. Well, I'm using not much. I mean, I gotta really get into the other software. I just haven't had the time. You know what I mean? Like right now, my work. Right now, if you've been in my lives rhythms, like I'm moving on this joint so fast. So I'm like, all right, it's gonna take me time to, go into the software and really try to, mull around the software. So I gotta try to do it on my time and try to make sure I can get it where I need it to be. But I definitely want to use it because I like that it's digital, and then also it'll be better for getting on the screen. But look, man, we've been doing this thing for so long. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a lot more available, especially with the plugins. Especially with the plugins, you know what I mean? And that's part of the reason why I kind of want to stay away from it, is because I don't really want to. Once I start getting around all of the computer and the plugins, it starts to me, it feels like it starts to make me overthink it and not feel what I'm doing. I can't speak for everybody on that. It's just me right now. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to, at this point, what I want folks to do, I want folks to just kind of see, like, how we can build the tracks and how we can build them quickly. You know what I mean? Because typically when we're in a live, Rob Mully, Hero, we probably doing like 2-3 joints a night, right? Give or take. It just depends. Calvin, like, y'all been around here enough to know, like, we do a few joints every night, In some case, from start to finish, you know what I mean? Like, from start to finish, sequence everything, tag it, whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Rough mix everything and just put it out. It just depends on the mood and how I feel. Like, if I got some samples that are really calling me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make it work. But it just depends on that, you know what I mean? And then tonight I'm starting late, man. Like, I'm starting later and later and later, and I'm like I can't keep starting so late. But it's like I really needed to just focus on. I had five samples that I was trying to work with, and then I picked out 5 joints, and I'm like, okay, out of the 5, it was like 2 was like really solid, and those are the ones that I played y'all earlier. Like, those are really solid. So I said, all right, let me just build these out because it's it's fitting, the client. So we're gonna go from there. Listen, you gotta try to find a way for it to work the way you want it to work. Or you're forced to use an external hard drive. Listen, I think if they're telling you to use an external hard drive, there has to be a reason for it, man. It could be because it's taking up too much memory too fast, and if it's doing that, it's gonna stop your box from working. So I always suggest to get external drives, man. Like, that's just me. I suggest that wholeheartedly. Get external drives and be able to handle your stuff. I haven't used those yet. Yeah, you got to back everything up. It's so crazy though when I listen to what it was versus where we at. It's just it's really insane. You know what I mean? But there's no limit to the creativity. I'll play it one more time.
Said I should stay at home and think about the way you broke my heart, but I won't. I'm not crying over you in my hotel room. I'm on a plane to somewhere nice. I'm not thinking about you. You're the one thing I don't want, not a thought in my mind. No, I'm not thinking about you.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's really crazy, man. Like I love where we are technology wise. Like I love it right now. Is it possible to put multiple? Yeah. Put as many as you want, bro. You you gotta play with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta play with it. You gotta kinda it'll give you multiple variations and outputs. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta play with it. You know what I'm saying? When you put stuff into it, pause, then it'll give you different variations. Typically when we're trying to sort it out, it gives us like two outputs. Excuse me. It gives us two outputs, and then I can kind of pick from it. Typically one sounds a little bit more rigid than the other, you know. So it's very important for you to kind of pick the way that you want the way that you want it to come out. Damn, you got a 16, you got an HR8, HR16. You know what? Sometimes what upsets me, I know folks don't really understand, but like when you buy a piece of equipment and you buy it at its absolute highest price, and then you just kind of watch it just diminish, and you're like, man, like it's like you would think that some of this stuff would become like quote unquote vintage, right, and rare. But not in the music world. It seems like it just seems like it just goes to crap. Have I always used the Kai? No. I had an ASR 10, went from ASR 10 and Digital Performer. Then we went to ASR 10. I had ASR 88, and then to MPC. Used that for a long while. Then we used Machine for a little while. And then after we used Machine, I went to FL Studio for a long period of time. I did most of the down south music in FL Studio. And then, maybe within the last 2-3 years, did Serato, a little bit of Ableton. And now we back to the MPC now for the last year. It's going to be a year in September that I got this box. You know what I mean? So, I haven't tried the Akai Force. What's this one? Yeah, some folks say it's challenging. Did you get the live too, or did you wind up getting the X? Yeah, my partner, Mike Trauma D, went from machine to the live. He said it was a little bit of a challenge. I don't remember this beat. Mac Mark. That's exactly what I was thinking in my mind. It's too fast. And then when I look, that's why I'm going back to them, because a lot of these beats we go through them, but we don't finish them. But that's entirely too fast. Like, there's nobody rapping that fast anymore. Combination. I like to do both. 808s, real drums. Just depends. Like, it really depends. Shout out to everybody that's joining the live. Thanks to everybody that was sending the gifts. Make sure y'all liking the live, man. Sharing the lives. It's terrible. Didn't. Okay. So you see Big Pun on the wall? Yeah, that's Big Pun, bro. I gotta finish this beat too. Sometimes you're just not in the mood. I gotta finish that one. I have to start making some notes on which ones I need to finish off. I have there's a lot of music in here that needs to get finished. Shout out from Colorado. Yo, folk, chat, where y'all from, man? I know there's some new folks in the chat. Put where y'all from in the chat. I am from the Bronx, New York. Shout out Detroit. My older brother went to college out there. Miami. What is wrong? And you know, if we don't, if Kaz, what up? If we don't do it on the spot, man, it don't get done, man. And then listen, that's the thing, because you don't want to go backwards. There's something mentally like you don't want to go backwards. You feel like if you do the next one, it's going to be better than the last one. And that's not always true. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you really do need to revisit those joints. You need to go back, and you need to go back and fix them and get them done and sequence them out, you know? Fresno, California, what up? Yeah, sometimes the feeling ain't the same, man. It's just, you gotta push through it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta push through it, man. Like, you gotta really think about this. Like, again, you're one piece of content away from everything changing in your life. One piece of content, bro. Like, one piece of content. So, I encourage everybody to, like, yo, if you did it, go back, finish it. It doesn't need to be perfect, but we do need to get into the habit of executing, right? Get into the habit of executing, and then if we need to tweak it and make it better, we can always do that. But always get into the habit of getting something done. You know what I mean? Get it through the finish line, and then, of course, we can always look back and say, okay, you know, how can we have gotten it better? We can do that. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to keep putting this in the cycle of never getting done. Like, we just keep working on it, working on it, working on it. It never gets done. Like, you got to do something. You got to get it out. You know, got to get people to hear this stuff. If people don't hear this stuff, it's like you don't know what's going to happen. There's just different beats here. And I got to definitely reset my ears right now. Yo, Rich, what happening, man? Yeah, you got to work on not hoarding. And remember, everything that goes out has the potential to earn, you know? This is definitely, I know this is done.
Arkatech Beatz.
That one feels good. It feels good. It got a good pace. It definitely got a good pace. Yo, we did a lot of joints, y'all. This is day 60 of going live, man. We should have had like a little celebration of day 60. Like, we definitely did a lot of music. I ain't gonna hold you. Can't wait for y'all to hear some of this stuff coming out. Kaz, what happening, man? Appreciate you. "60 Days of Heat." Rich Harmon, what up, man? We out here late again, man. I'm sorry to have y'all up so late, man. Yeah, been in Akai user for 20 years, man. You figure I bought my first Akai in 2000? Nah, no, was it 2000 or was it 99? Might have been 99. Might have been earlier than that. I'm lying. When did it come out? Did it come out 98 or something like that? When did it come out?
Arkatech Beatz.
This joint is called Doe. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. So Rich Harmon on YouTube is saying that he got a person that basically, instead of sampling the master recording, say for example you have a record and you don't sample the master recording, you don't sample it from the CD or the vinyl or the tape. What he did is he sampled the live performance and then used that in his recording versus using the mastered recording. And then he was able to pay less for, the clearance of the sample because it was a live performance and not necessarily the copyrighted master. I mean, listen, it's like, I can understand the knowledge of that because, you're still trying to sample it without, using the quote unquote master recording, right? You're using a live performance. It's still that copyrighted material. You're still gonna have to pay something, So did he circumvent the system a little bit? Yeah, because he didn't sample the master, right? He didn't sample the master recording, so he kind of got away with that. But, in my opinion, it's not worth any of that. Rob, you know where that's going, right? You said it's grimy. This one, that be going to a special somebody. This joint called Sweet Revenge. We call it Sweet Revenge.
Arkatech Beatz.
Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody in the live. Listen, I think people. I think we have to be very clear, man. Like, listen, sampling has evolved, and I think I can say that. Like, sampling has clearly evolved. Like, you have so much resources out here for sampling that, it's almost unlimited at this point. I don't even know if you guys noticed that Pro Tools put a new update and it's integrating Splice into it. It's like sampling is no longer like between Splice, TrackLib, and all these other various places, man. Like, I don't even know why guys still sample from like real records anymore. Like, I really don't understand it. Like, if you just want to give away your music publishing, if you want to give away parts of your master rights, right, stems, like, I don't know, man. Like, if you want to give away your music, if you want to give away your royalties, have at it. Only thing that I could tell you is that when I look back at some of the records that we did and some of the most successful records, and, instead of us getting 50% on a record, we getting 18% on a record. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us getting 100% on a record, we getting 8% on a record because we decided to sample it. And then when you think about how much units it did, how much streams it got, you're like, man, I just made somebody else rich. Nah, I ain't doing that no more. And I would suggest to everybody, listen, the style of music that you want to sample, trust me, there's royalty-free sources for that. You just got to look for it. But don't relegate yourself to that stuff, man. Like, folks be thinking like, oh, if I go from here, everybody gonna have the sample. Yo, newsflash, if the record has been released, everybody got the sample, bro. Newsflash. You know what I'm saying? Just because everybody got the sample don't mean they're gonna rock the beat how you rock the beat, man. Like, they're not gonna make the song the way you make the song. They may not have the resources that you have. They may not have the access. They could be sitting on that track in their garage for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't worry about that type of stuff. Cool. Yeah, I use royalty free, bro. I ain't gotta worry about none of that no more. Royalty free, brother. As long as you use royalty free samples, you're good to go. And you just read the fine print, man. Don't get those royalty free up to, it's royalty free if you don't get a major placement. Like, come on, dog. It's royalty free unless you do 2 million copies. Come on, dog. Like, y'all want me to do the heavy lifting. The heavy lifting is getting in place. That's the heavy lifting. Yeah, some people don't clear samples, bro. So listen, it's a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't clear samples, man. It's a gamble, man. But it's getting more and more sophisticated now. And now with AI on the horizon, you can bet that every single recording known to man is going to be placed through Content ID and fingerprinted. There are still some recordings that haven't been like, Content ID that get away with murder. But trust, those days are about to end. Do I ever critique other beat makers on here? No, I don't, because I am streaming on every platform. I'm streaming on Twitch, Kick, Rumble, YouTube, X, Facebook. So I'm on everywhere right now, and I am very, very, very particular of not getting my channels banned for copyrighted material or for people getting on your live and acting crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't take those type of risks. Work too hard to build up my audience, work too hard to build up my stuff for people to jump on there and just troll you. If folks still want to do music reviews, we do that privately. You just go to arkatechbeatz.com and submit a music review. You know what I mean? And then go through the process so that, people don't say that we stole your music like Timbaland, They'll say, oh, you stole my music. Okay. Put it through the process. Put it through the process so that we have a document when you sent it, what you sent, and all the other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it needs to be documented. I don't want anybody to oh you lifted the 18th riff on bar number 94. Like, come on, bro. We fed it into Suno and it came out the same. Listen, man. You guys are giving Suno a bad rap, man. Suno was bad, man. Listen, boy. Suno is no joke. Suno is no joke. I'm telling you. For those who know how to use it, it's no joke. And y'all giving Timberland a bad rap, but you just should have tagged that kid, man. That's all you should have did. It's like $10, man. It's light. It ain't even heavy like that.
Arkatech
Yeah, Suno is no joke, man. Kim Thomas, I see you. They scared, man. They said, who gonna take the challenge to rap on it? You'll find out. It's coming out soon. That's just one of the joints that I had worked on earlier today. And then like I said, I did 2 today. Well, I ain't even gonna say I did 2. I did 3. Cause let me play the R&B one again. Let me play that one again. And we call that one Sudan Nights. It's a Long Live X. Been 7 years anniversary today. Appreciate you. So for those who was here last night, y'all remember I had started the beat started like this. Right, it started there. That's where it started. And then we went to we got to this later on in the night. Hold on.
Said I should stay at home and think about the way you broke my heart, but I won't. I'm not crying over you in my hotel room.
Yo, Hero said Cody went crazy. Yo, Cody's going nuts. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, I'm telling you, man. People playing games, they don't really understand what type of time I'm on. You know? They don't understand what type of time I'm on. I'm on a different type of time this year. I got time now. You know what I'm saying? I got time now, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I went through a few things. You know? Had to go through some tragedy. Had to kind of put things in a different perspective. It's a dark trap. Yeah, we kind of leaning off the trap, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. You see, they about to wipe out Travis Scott, right? I'm trying to lean off of that a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? So, Kim Thomas, thank you for the gift. Trying to lean off of it a little bit. Tape out, bro.
Saw you standing in the midnight glow.
Hold on. I think I did that wrong. Did I do that right? He says, you asked because Drake asked for Dark Trap. What are you trying to say, bro? You trying to say you got a Drake line, bro? That's what you trying to tell me? That's what you saying? You trying to tell me you got a line to Champagne Poppy? That's what you telling me? Just so that I'm clear, you know what I'm saying? Just let me know if that's what's happening here, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I got everything, you know what I'm saying? It's just I'm not playing it tonight, you know what I'm saying? But I got an arsenal, you know what I'm saying? I just don't play everything, you know what I'm saying? There's thousands of beats, man. Like, you know, I've been in this game a long time, you know what I mean? So a lot of times I'm just trying to show folks the range, you know what I mean? He said he just looking for hits. What's a hit, bro? What's a hit, man? Your hit records are made, man. You know what I'm saying? And if one person can take any record and turn it into a hit, it's Drake. So, you know what I mean? He could take anything and make it into a hit because he's a superior writer. That used to be the beef I used to have with a lot of A&Rs back in the day. They be like, yo, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. Like, yo, let the artist decide, and let the artist listen to the music. Let the artist decide to make it what it's gonna make it. A lot of times, when you try to manufacture it, like especially if you're trying to do pop music, like pop music is a little different because pop music has typical. It's formulaic. It has a certain way that it this. It has a certain way that it builds up. It has a certain way that it breaks down. It has a certain way that it does that. So once you kind of understand the formula of where to put the pieces, it's not hard to replicate. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, it all depends on what you want to do. You know what I mean? But hey, bro, if you got a line, bro, like just let me know if you got a line, bro. If you got a line, I got that music. You know what I mean? We got it. You know. Trying to make it do what it do though. You know, this is day 60 of us going live. I didn't think that I would be doing any live streams. I definitely didn't think I would be making music in front of anybody. Because to me, this has always been a private practice. I'm not even going to hold you. For the years and years and years and years and years that I've been doing this, for all of the artists that I work with, from Raekwon to Nas, from Prodigy to Mobb Deep to Killer Mike to Freddie Gibbs, back to Shorty Low, back to Maya, Saha to Prince, you name it, we've done it. The Game, Jadakiss. It's like it's always been a private practice of me. I've never been the guy to make the music in front of everybody. He said, I got a line, but if you never dealt with industry people, it's gonna be frustrating. That's not a fake plaques, bro. I just want to make sure that you're clear. Those are not fake, man. Those are real, man. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But in any event, I want to thank everybody that's been rocking with me for the last 60 days doing the lives. I appreciate y'all, for real. Like, I really appreciate y'all because now when I see something different, it was an exercise that I didn't know that I needed. You know what I mean? This is the MPCX special edition. Yeah, I didn't know this was an exercise that I needed, to be honest. This is something that I truly, truly needed. I didn't know that I needed it, but I needed it. You know, so it's definitely something that I want to continue doing. I've learned to enjoy it. You know, at first I was kind of like, damn, this is kind of hard. But, you know, it's gotten easier. Any tips for starters? Post your content. Keep working. Put your music out there. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of any critique. Don't be afraid of trolls. The internet is not a real place. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's real for some people because, you know, sometimes people escalate things. But that's when the internet becomes real because people say things and don't think that it can really get real in the street. You know what I mean? So, you know. People who want to produce for local artists. Yeah, bro, hit me in the DM, bro. Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the music that we place, for example, we did early Meek Mill, and a lot of that stuff that we did for Meek, the stuff that we did for Meek was before he signed to MMG. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to know how to get it on the ground floor. And that's what we've been really good at, is, you know, is working with local talent and working with people that's coming up and identifying the new talent before it actually comes out. You know what I mean? So that's something that we pride ourselves in doing because not only are we producers, but we're also former A&Rs, you know, for Loud Sony Records. You know what I'm saying? So that's during the Wu-Tang days, Wu-Tang with Mobb Deep days, you know, M.O.P. So, you know, we did all of that. You know what I'm saying? So we understand what it takes to cultivate and, you know, identify talent. Yeah, we done did it, man. We've been here. We've been here for a while, man. We got Got over 25 years experience in this thing, man. Big artist, small artist. From New York to Cali to Atlanta, Shorty Low, Little Scrappy, you name it, we did it. But at the same time, like I was saying about this live stream, so there's a lot of things that I didn't think that I needed. First, let me go back. First, there are a bunch of things that I think that we have to make sure that we're doing, right? We're making sure that we got to keep showing up. You know, we have to make sure that we have to keep showing up. We have to keep being consistent. I think that's probably the most important thing. And then also, as you see, over time, we keep building up more and more music. It really is just a matter of time before the music starts to kind of permeate where it needs to permeate. Because there's a lot of people that's reaching out to me. And there's a lot of people that's reconnecting with us. You know what I mean? And a lot of it is just based off of people seeing you work. And that's the thing. People respect people who work. That's the reality of the situation. Is that it's not that people don't want to help you. It's that people want to see that you're working yourself. Right? That's the real thing. Right? People want to see that you're working. That's it. If you're working and you're kind of making your own noise, people will help you. And that's the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? It's just that what we're not looking to do is we're not looking to help people that's not looking to help themselves. Right? So that's the real sauce right there. So what I would want everybody to do is, one, keep putting out music. Every night that we get up, make sure that you're asking questions, man. You know what I'm saying? Like asking questions about this game. You know, what should I do with these songs? Should I put these out? You know, how do I register my records? You know, this is a big thing. You know, these are things that people need to make sure that they're clear on. And most times I'm telling y'all about my business. I'm telling y'all about, you know, the way that I'm talking to my attorneys and the things that I'm asking for and the things that I'm telling you to watch out for. Don't put this in your contract. Don't let them put that in your contract. And I'm taking that 25 years of collected experience and telling you, listen, I may have made those mistakes, but you don't have to make those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? If I had hindsight as 2020, I wouldn't make the deal this way. I'd make it that way, you know? So it's like, you know, utilize me as a resource as I'm here. You know what I mean? Things are happening in real time. For artists that are getting their music stolen, make sure y'all reach out to me. I got a team of folks that can help you get your, you know, get what you're owed if somebody's stealing music from you, especially if you're like a artist that has some things going on. What I recommend for a beginner to start making beats, if you're not in the financial space to get a MPC or a live, you can do an MPC X or a live too. If you're not there, then of course you can always work with FL Studio. I recommend that. I recommend Serato as well. These are easy platforms to get started in, you know, and just kind of making sure that you understand the basics of just kind of you know, laying kicks and snares and laying different sounds down. And just getting used to what you're hearing and seeing. Hey, Rich, man, I appreciate you, man. Look, I appreciate y'all. I really do. Like, this is type of the things, like, this is the type of stuff that, you know, that I've always wanted to do. And I've always wanted to help, you know, get folks really started in this thing, man. You know, I know some folks feel like there's not enough room for folks, but that's not how it works. The internet will make sure that you find your audience, man. That's the one thing that's for sure. The same way that you found me, that's how the internet works. Are there any other options than FL that give a free trial? Hey Nate, you gotta put something in, man. A lot of these things are subscription based, so you gotta look to spend at least $8 to $10 a month, man. Come on now. You can do Serato. Serato get maybe pay like $10 to $15 a month. Gotta invest in yourself. It's, it's the cost of a Chick-fil-A meal, man, a month, man. He said, "What made us stand out from other producers?" Um, if you listen to some of our earlier productions, we we went for a we went for a cinematic sound, and that was because we were sampling from sources that like were high energy. We were doing movie scores where a lot of people weren't doing that, right? And the reason why they weren't doing it because they wouldn't clear, So that was one of the things that we learned fast. But and then also we always like our music to to change. So it'll start with we like 2, 4, and 8 bar loops. So because we were making our loops longer, everybody was making their loops shorter and making chops, right? Like if you think about how Easy Mo B might have the burner, he'll be triggering stuff, and he'll make new sounds from smaller sounds. Whereas for us, we were looking for samples that were long, right? Pause. And, that crescendoed or made different stuff. So that type of stuff was the first thing. The second thing was we tried to make our drums louder than everybody else's. And that was something that we picked up from listening to No ID's tapes, right? Because we were in the position when we were at Loud Records that we used to hear other producers' music before stuff came out. So we used to get that early Rockwaller music. We used to get that early Pete Rock music. We used to get that early Havoc stuff. We used to get it. We used to listen to it, be able to listen to it before it came out. And then you were able to kind of make an assessment of like, okay, what do you need to improve? So the only way for you really to improve is to really listen to other people's music, bro. And that's why I really love like the Clips, And the joke is the Clips record that just came out was that's what made me go back and dig up the Indian sample, because I had an Indian sample, and that coming out was like, was inspiring. I can go back to that. You know what I'm saying? And then I wind up now just building an entirely different pop record based off of that. You know what I'm saying? So again, this stuff inspires you, man. Like, it's supposed to. You're supposed to. You gotta listen to this music, man. And it's supposed to make you feel like you want to make music. If it's not making you feel like you want to make music, that's part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot of music that was coming out, but it just wasn't making people feel like they wanted to make music. It didn't feel competitive. It didn't feel like it was like, oh my gosh, like that boy Push's last verse totally disrespected that young man. You know what I'm saying? So if that don't make you want to get into the studio, then I don't know what's gonna help you, man. You know what I mean? I think we've gotten too soft. Personally, that's just me. I come from a different era. People got to stand for something too. So I don't think it needs to go back. I think it needs to progress. I don't think it needs to go back. And I think that's where I think people get it wrong. It's like, I don't want it to go back. I want it to get better. Does that make sense? Like, I want it to get better. I don't want the music to go backwards. I want music to get better. I think what happens is that we have more tools. So in my opinion, more tools, more technology, music should be getting better. The melody should be getting better. The songs should be getting better. The hook should be getting bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like the beats should be more like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? Like, think about those records from, like, if you're a person that grew up in the 90s, you know what some of those records were doing. Like when you would go to the club and you would hear like the Benjamins and stuff like that. Like you would like, yo, what the hell is this? You heard Shook Ones for the first time. What the hell is this? You heard Triumph for the first time, or Southern Playalistic Cadillac music, or Get Up, Get Out. You hear these songs, you be like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? What is that? You know what I mean? You hear Jesus Walks for the first time, you want to pull your hair out. You know what I mean? You hear Nothing But a G Thing. You hear these records for the first time, you're like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? Even Soulja Boy, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear these records and, you know, it may not be for you, but you could be like, man, that's that goes. You know, like, you know, Bow Wow or whatever. Like, you know, these, you know, like this is not my music, but, you know, it's not my kind of music, but you can definitely say like, yo, these records made like indelible marks, you know? And then today's music is like in and out, pause. Like, you know, it's like a flash. It's like it's not marking a moment. Like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it needed me to be a moment. Like, yo, this is like these songs are just coming and going. And I'm just like, yo, like, is it because they're not good, or is it because like, you know, what are we doing? You know, we got to make these songs start to stand up to the test of time. But it could also be because our, you know, our attention spans are not as long as they used to be. You know, our attention spans are short. People is not giving music. You know, music has to compete with other medium of media now. You know, I was trying to explain that to somebody the other day. It's like, yo, it's competing. You know, you're competing with video games. You're competing with Netflix. You're competing with, you know, with Twitch streaming. And it's not causing impact sonically because, you know, I don't think people are trying to push the envelope. You know, we just kind of got used to it being one way. You know what I mean? And then what we did is we dragged trap too long. We dragged it. Oh my gosh, we dragged it too long. We dragged it. You know, we made it. We made everything sound the same, and we shared all the kits, and we shared the templates, and we just dragged that genre into the ground. And it shouldn't have been that way. You know what I'm saying? We dragged it into the ground, man. Don't get me wrong, man. There's some dope music too. I gotta check the Slick Rick joint. But I'm not even gonna hold you, man. When Slick Rick came out, right, with all that stuff, I'm in sixth grade, bro. I'm 11 years old with Slick Rick coming out, bro. Like, real talk. I'm 11, 12 years old, so even for me, Slick Rick might not even be for me. You know. So, you know, it just depends, you know. Certain labels are trying to purposely destroy black music. You know why, right, Rob? Yeah. They're trying to destroy black music because black music right now doesn't have any value. You see, before, black music used to be able to, you know, enlighten folks. And, you know, black music used to be able to bring folks together. Used to bring folks, you know, used to have more of a positive impact. Not anymore. You know, black music is driving a wedge between men and women. So now they're trying to get rid of it. Because what happens is like this. Is like if we continue to have these barriers for black men and black women, then we're not going to be able to compete in society. So we're the only ones that's on our own. But, you know, that's another conversation for another day, you know what I mean? And if you think about it too, right? It's like, you know, the labels are going to lean toward the demographics that's spending the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about it, like, think about the last 5 years, right? Think about the last 5 years of hip hop, right? You got, you know, you got Megan, you got Sexy Red, you got a few others, right? I know in my day, I didn't have a problem buying a Foxy Brown album. It was dope. I didn't have a problem getting, like, you know, Lil' Kim or Junior Mafia. I didn't have a problem getting Eve joint. I didn't have a problem with it because we felt that was good hip hop. It wasn't music that Missy, right? Yeah, it wasn't music that tore down men. You know what I'm saying? And then people wonder why it, you know, it kind of didn't go nowhere. It's kind of like the WNBA. You know what I mean? Like, you would think ladies would support ladies, but that's not how it works. It's the men that spend the money. You know what I'm saying? So you can't make, you know, a genre of music that's male dominated and then try to, you know, tell them that you know, F what you call it free and all that type of stuff. And it's weird, you know what I mean? So I think that kind of stagnated a lot of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you got some people that try to correct it. You got somebody that's dope like a Dolce, and then, you know, they make some, you know, some silly comments that again ostracize men again. You know what I mean? So it's like you could be a dope artist, but then, you know, you insert these other kind of things into stuff, and you know, it's an anti-man. Like, you know, I don't get it. You know, but I guess they would say that, you know, hip hop music was anti-woman for a while. It's like, you know, I guess it's our turn. It is what it is. I just needed to get back to some bars. So, you know, so thank you for, you know, Kendrick and Drake. You know, I don't like that, you know, that they kind of ganged up on Drake to, you know, to do what they did, but, you know, the culture needed to reset itself. So it's resetting itself now. Hopefully we'll get some good music from the Clips, because right now pushing them is everywhere. So somebody has definitely pushed the button. You know, you can always tell when the button gets pushed, right? There's a button that gets pushed where you can't escape certain media coverage. So when the button gets pushed, then you start to see it everywhere. So right now we're seeing it everywhere. So we'll see where it goes. Getting ready to sign off. We're at 1 a.m. Load up an old joint before I get out of here. Born Ready, you still up?
Arkatech Beatz.
everybody, man. Good night. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.